central government budget. Then we went through the spring meetings and we began the discussions of a program and what it would take. The program will have a fiscal reform component headlined by the wage reform, and there will be a monetary reform as well as an economic stimulus part. A lot of this meeting is not just about authority. We're saying that we're working with the fund that, look, our economy is sticking the bottom and we need to stimulate the economy. And so the program is a comprehensive program on fiscal, monetary, and governance reforms, but also reforms about the business economy and how do we inject resources into agriculture to revive it. So those are the elements. The presentation will be about harmonization, but I give the logic of harmonization. So for the past since the end of the war, the country's wage structure has been growing, and today the wage is at such a point that even all the partners have been complaining that our system is not equitable, and the way the system is designed is that it's arbitrary. So we have a general allowance system, and we have a basic allowance system. So some 43,000 civil servants are on a paid salary, and then some 25,000 Liberians have been on what is called a general allowance, which is where the problem has been. There were attempts to reform this system in the past, but that didn't work. And so, as part of this program, we took on the task of saying, let's fix the system, the general allowance system, so that we can bring equity and some standardization to all. So it's so that people within the same qualification, the same grade, the same skills, the same education can be paid around the same amount. As it is, the system is such that people are not paid according to those standards. And so this puts Liberia in a different situation than other countries. As a percent of GDP, our wage is around 11–12%. It's been quite high. Sierra Leone is 5% of GDP. And so we've been engaging with the development partners, and everybody said, look, you have to reform and fix this thing. I mean, this is a time that you can't keep the can down the road. You keep this for 9 years, 10 years. It's about time we grapple with this. Because as Minister of Finance, I can tell you the basic thing we're only doing is pay. Before the reform, we see that in the data, the consolidated total amount coming from there, 28–30 million. And the way money goes to the account, and if you're doing other projects, then it means you're going to put pressure on salary. So that share of salary is so large that the government can't do anything much. It's a problem. So we needed to fix it, and that's what this whole harmonization is about. So it's about bringing equity to all of government workers so that equal pay or similar pay for similar skills. I think it's just fairness. So harmonization achieves that goal as well. So based on that, we summon all of the entities and we work with them through what the presentation will show. But I will not go into the presentation in this overview because we see that. I'd like to say that.
Please, excuse me, Honorable Minister.
Yes, I do have a concern, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, go ahead.
Looking at the agenda item E, I think the minister is about to take us in a very long time, and this is something that is serious, that is affecting members in our communities. With a specific agenda item, he was called for allegations of civil servant salary payment as of July 1, 2019, using a proposed monthly appropriation in a draft unapproved fiscal year 2019-2020. And I think we should go directly so that the Liberian people can understand, we to understand and get along. Because we have listened to all of these, he has been saying it, and I think that's just too much repetition. Thank you.
Well, it's respectfully noted. The minister was giving an overview as it stated in the preamble. So let us give him the time to give a little overview and go into the details or merits of why he was called. So, Honorable Minister, please proceed.
Yeah, I respectfully, I take note of a point. This is a public hearing and we want to give us such information. So harmonization went on and the details are coming. We submitted to you a budget that has compensation of $297 million. That budget had a saving of $26 million from the previous wage structure before harmonized. So the budget before you now has compensation of $297 at the time of that submission. As we speak, we rolled back, which we'll discuss later, almost $12 million of that $297 because of continuing harmonization issues, adjustments, and there were some omissions from staff on certain people were left out. So we got back $12 million into the budget. That budget was submitted to you with a $7 million financing gap. So when you add the $12 million to the $7 million, Honorable Speaker and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a $19 million financing gap that we have to fund with a credible revenue source. So from 297, we will end up at 312. That is a serious challenge as we speak right now, even for the program we are discussing. The implications of harmonization is that if we're not able to achieve this as a precondition for the program, we may miss the program. And the risk of missing the program, Mr. Speaker, is that there are $60 million funding from partners that we're programming predicated on the IMF program. So a lot of that is contingent, but it's already built into the 592 that you have received. So if we subtracted that $60 million, that means the budget is ready for the collapse. So that's a risk factor. We'll get to the other point. So as far as harmonization, we also did some automation, and this would be a good point to clarify something, one of the reasons why I'm here. Automation is going to provide a way in which we can prevent payroll difficulties in the future. So we are harmonizing, but also automating the payroll system. Because of that, most of the civil servants, 43,000 of them have been receiving Liberian dollars. The new structure, as part of the fiscal reforms that we're rolling out, is moving from paying government workers 80-20% as a way of strengthening the Liberian dollar to 35%, 65%. The majority of the civil servants did not have United States dollar account. So they received their 35%, but the ministries and the agencies have been working to get them into the US dollar account. The decision has been made that since they don't have an account, pay them at a rate of 202, not 135. Civil servants were getting paid in last year's budget at a rate of 135. We are paying civil servants at a rate of now 202 to adjust for inflation, so they are receiving 65% of that money, and that money, as we speak, is being paid to civil servants. Technically, it's being paid. So it was not a cut. It's that most of them were already receiving Liberian dollar. They did not have the United States dollar account, so this is not part of the harmonization thing. The 35-65 was just because they did not have that account. So it brought some confusion. People received 35%, and they said, oh, they cut my money by 60. That was not true. So as we speak, entities and teachers are receiving that amount. I've been assured by the Controller and the Accountant General, and those monies are credited to their account. Just wanted to make that clarity because it was part of the situation. The other final point I would like to make, Honorable Speaker, is that, and I briefly yesterday, I've informed the President. I've informed the President that
I want you to please squat a little bit because in the face.
Yes. I have informed the President as Minister of Finance, we have reached our limit of spending, and so that when we do not have authority to spend more than 1/12 before the budget's passed, and the latest report I've been informed that we are reaching that limit. So I've informed the President. The President is informing and sending a letter to the Speaker authorizing further approval for expending public fund and collecting revenue. This is consistent with Section 17 of the Public Financial Management Law, and this is we'll go into that later. So with that, we're going to the technical details of wage harmonization, the grading system. We'll do a quick presentation overview and then extension. So we'll do the presentation now. So,
yes, inquiry.
Yeah, before we get to the presentation, I think it is prudent that the Minister of Finance address what I just stated. The main reason that he was called
Let me say why he was called.
It is there, Mr. Speaker.
Let me say why he was called. He was called so as to address himself to the allegations of civil servant salary payment as of July 1, 2019, using a proposed monthly appropriations in a draft and approved for year 2019-2020 national budget with specific reference to the harmonization plan. So that is why they're going to address themselves.
Yeah, but he's coming to a presentation.
It encapsulates all of those things. Let them go ahead. Your point is noted. I did not recognize.
The thing has to, the legality aspect, that's why he has to we have done that many times.
Information,
I'm going to walk away from here. I don't even know about that.
For the matter of clarity, we did specific properly why the minister came here.
Yes.
To address himself to what is being claimed to be the usage of the revenue, the budget that is unapproved, that has to do with from as of July 1st, 2019. That is the issue. For the unapproved budget of 2019-2020, with specifics to the revenue, to the harmonization plan. So if you want to restate that which you are saying in line with the essence of his presence, then you are recognized to go ahead. So please go to the point.
Honorable Speaker, I do have a concern. And based on what I'm listening to the Honorable Minister, if I am right, that he has not executed the harmonization proposed plan. You haven't done that. And if you have not done that, then I do have a concern, because I was approached by 4 or 5 persons from my constituency, and other legislators have got similar issues. It is your policy, that is fine, to give the 30, 35% and 65%. But then you contact the relevant authorities where those civil servants work, telling them about the policy that you will be paying 35% and they need to open an account for them to receive their 65%. Because bear in mind, school is about to open, people need money to do XYZ. So if you answer that, then I can.
Let me provide, I will answer that one. I think the question here is...
So,
Me?
yeah, please...
Please don't stay from me. Please. Oh, you love me because I was shouldn't stay.
So, go ahead, Minister.
Okay. The harmonization happened, let me say first. Section 17 of the Public Financial Management Law says that when the budget is not approved, specifically the legislature is not able to approve the budget, the Minister of Finance is authorized in line with the proposed budget to spend 1/12 of the previous budget's total. So it says the minister, in this case, 1/12 of last year's budget is 47.5 million. Since hospitals have to run, people have to get paid, the minister has the legal authority under the law to spend 47.5 million in line with what the minister has proposed to the legislature. I have the legal protection under the Public Financial Management Act, Section 17, to do that. It's on that authority that we began doing so. We've reached a point where we no longer have the authority again because this is a one-time. Only you can grant authority to do another 1/12. Without that authority, the government will shut down. We're not authorized a dime for gas or hospital. All right. So in that context, so the other part of your question then is, all of the entities were engaged with this harmonization. So 15,000 Liberians, almost 15,000 Liberians are getting a pay raise. As we speak, we're receiving text messages, people worried that we're even talking about reversing some of the increases that they're getting. Health workers are being exempted. So all that discussion was that, look, under the new system, we're also automating. All right? The challenge with this 65% thing is, the 65% is not a harmonization thing, let's face it. The government has been paying 20/80. Because we are moving towards strengthening the use of our grant dollars from the economic management team, we move to say, let's do 35/65. The central bank will still start charging, when you see Western Union to start receiving only 50% as opposed to 25%. All those are the measures that the government put in place to move towards stronger Liberian dollar. Driver licenses and other fees will only be paid in Liberia. Those are the things that we're going to give confidence to our Liberian dollar. So it's not a harmonization, 65/35, it's not really a harmonization. Yeah, without harmonization, we're still going to do 35/65. So it's not a harmonization policy. But because we're doing 35/65 under a harmonized framework and automating, that meant that the people who were not getting US dollar are now going to be getting US dollar, because some civil servants were not getting US dollar before. So they are now going to start getting US dollar, but they didn't have US dollar account. So the entities informed the minister that they were getting this account, but it was slower. So at the rate, what we decided, look, this thing is going to be difficult for you to wait for the US dollar account. So convert the US dollar to Liberian dollar. They will receive the Liberian dollar. When everybody has their account, then they will start receiving the US dollar account.
So are you saying?
Honorable Presiding, information, Chairman of Security.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
No,
thank you very much, Honorable President. I think
Security intertwined with the fellow big.
it is unfair on the minister part from our colleagues. The minister was in fact trying to give some tangible information, and I believe that if we allow the minister after deliberating and before you can provide a question. And now this day we are here to seek the interest of our people. The minister will not be speaking, then you interrupt. Wait for the minister. After the minister finishes speaking, then you can propose the question to the minister. We will not accept that. Let me be very frank. We cannot waste our people's time here. We're talking about harmonization. Let me affect all our people. No, let the minister finish. Let the minister finish.
Continue.
Distinguished colleagues.
Sit down,
If you don't have anything to say, just keep quiet.
Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues. We have a chair. The chair presides. If anybody has any query or concern, that person must advance. It was unfair to you to have spoken the way you did. Because if you have a point, you direct that point to the chair. We'll respond to you. If the honorable had an issue, you say to the chair what your concerns were. If it was an order, then you ask order or you call order. If that information, you ask information. If that inquiry, you state the inquiry. But to say that what she was saying is a waste of time, honorable, please. Don't do that, please.
Where for everybody has a
Specific questions. I think I've addressed those questions satisfactorily.
So, Honorable Minister, very clear is that no one has been injured in the process, and then the concerns have been asked by the Honorable that the people are not getting the adequate, wages. It's not accurate.
Yeah, it's not accurate. So that 65.95, nobody caught people wages. Honorable Speaker, 55,000 civil servants, government workers are not affected by this. 15,000 of those almost are going up.
Okay.
9,000 are coming down who were paid high. So that's what we're talking about here. So absolutely, teachers are not affected in this exercise. Doctors, in fact, it was the president who increased the salary of doctors. Doctors were making $700 US in this country. They are now making $2,000 under the president. Security people are benefiting. So we are protecting health workers. We are protecting teachers in this exercise.
information.
Working together now. So let me say this point. This thing is not going to happen unless you approve it. So you and the government are ensuring that medical, in fact, it's the 54th legislature. It's the 54th legislature that raised the teacher's salary, that raised doctor's salary in this country along with the president. Let me say that. Let me correct the record. And thank you for your leadership in that area.
Information.
Fellow Speaker, fellow colleagues, I think the minister has very clear to us because we are started receiving complaints from our constituencies before actually comparing the basis of the harmonization. Then he said clearly that before the harmonization is touched, we have to approve of it, and it was on the basis of communication that most people did not get, and you were paying on the basis of 35 and 65 Liberian to US dollar. It is not clear there's no case. if he actually did not pay for the harmonization, then there's no case. So I think he's saying that he's not using the harmonization. The minister right here, the minister is saying that he's not paying on the harmonization, then there's a proof.
I'm paying the harmonization.
See, then there's a case. Then we say our case is the same harmonization. Because we see there's a new program, it's not on the basis of the new budget, we agree that you can spend 1/12 of the previous budget. On the new budget, we agree, but there's a new program. The harmonization on the 12 is a new program. It's a program that has been approved, yes. So you cannot pay on the basis of the program that has been approved. So if we say it's on harmonization, that means we still have an issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Basically, since even is right there, there will be some time, there will be questions asked. So I think, Minister, I think it will be fair that you sit down and then take note of what you're saying. Then when the time reaches, you can respond.
Yes.
So, Honorable Joseph, Martin Joe.
Yeah, Martin Joseph, I received it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, fellow colleague, my concern has to do with my concern go directly to the minister, and it has to do with the issue of the 112. The past budget was at 570, and this one is at 530. If you pay 112 of the 570, will it not affect this 530?
From what I heard, is the proposed budget 112 are said to be corrected.
The premium. Yeah. Because you apply the 112 when the budget remains as the same or when you have both.
Just for information's sake.
Yeah.
So can you read, anybody read the law on that basis? So that we'll be able to make progress. So the PMF law that authorizes the 112.
That's the information I'm going to give you.
The PMF law, Honorable Minister, don't talk across, Honorable, direct More than that, we need clarity. The documents here guide us. Honorable, please, the document will guide us. The laws that we make here guide us. Let us look at the law to see whether there are contradictions. Honorable, please read the law.
Let me thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I think this is where we have been having some problems. And I'm glad that the minister was able to clearly state that he's paying on the harmonized schedule. So let's go to the law. Because a few of us who work with the Ministry of Finance, and I think there have been some issues. Section 17 speaks about temporary financing of the budget and adoption of the budget by default. 1. In a case where the legislature is unable to approve the national budget before the start of the fiscal year, the minister is authorized to collect revenues and approve expenditure in line with the proposed budget. In line with the proposed budget, and in this case, the proposed budget is this year's budget, which has got to do with harmonization also. Up to 1/12 on the budget of the previous fiscal year. Expenditure. I give you information. How can you get information? Read the law. I give you information from the law. Yes, sir. You don't have information from the law.
You cannot have a dialogue with the people.
Take him as a speaker. Take him as a speaker.
So, Honorable Koga, he is reading the law as being requested as he has been requested to do. Therefore, we don't want you to provide new law or new information to the law. Let him read as he was requested to do.
I'm getting information consistent with the PFM law.
I'm reading the PFM law.
Information should not give information.
I'm reading the PFM law. Yeah, on the point back.
Hold on. The projector on the screen there.
Are you reading there?
Very good.
Order to whom?
Bring a man.
Order to me.
Order to the information.
Mr. Bisani, the PFM law that the gentleman is quoting, it also states that the budget should be submitted within a time frame.
The man agreed that in case the budget is not submitted in time, the budget cannot pass in time, the Minister of Finance is authorized.
But that was is it recognized? That was a violation in time. Because they do the budget should have arrived at the house in June.
Either way, whatever way we are
Mr. Speaker, I just want to conclude.
Let us discuss this in context. Distinguished colleagues, let's discuss this in context.
Mr. Speaker,
the issue here is that if there is a reason for delay in the passage of the budget, if the budget cannot be passed on time, it is say if the budget is delayed in being presented, the delay of the budget is being passed. That's the issue here. So please go to the law.
Again, I'm going to read the law from the board, and the reason why we have had problems is because, is because of the word proposed budget. Exactly what I'm reading from my phone.
Thank you. So
Section 17 is written and will be read as seen on the board. In case where the legislature is unable to approve the national budget before the start of the fiscal year, the minister is authorized to collect revenues and approve expenditures in line with the proposed budget up to 1/12 of the budget of the previous fiscal year. Expenditure of said 1/12 by the minister shall be included in the subsequent financial outturn. And Mr. Speaker, just before I just drop off, I just need to make this point. All of us have, at one point in time, misinterpreted this law because we did not consider the word proposed budget. In most cases, we were just saying 1/12, and our consideration, including some of us who worked at high level at the Ministry of Finance, our consideration was that 1/12 should be based on the last budget in terms of the expenditure or the outturn. Before I drop the phone, the microphone, let me make this point again. The fact that the framers of this law knew that because of human circumstances, there would have been delay in presentation and there would have been delay in passage. That's why that provision of the 1/12 was made. Colleagues, I think we need to get on the right path. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Lofa County.
Lofa Light.
I think that
You gotta protect Osama.
Please protect your father. Because many of you started doing finances, you are there. I think that something is being misconstrued. If you look at the 112 they're talking about, it is saying 112 of the previous budget. This is what we have seen in this country and in other countries. So it cannot be based on the proposed budget. This has never happened anywhere, and we cannot do it in this country. It has to be the previous budget until the budget. If you look at what happened in the UN,
Thank you, Presiding, my information to my colleague is that this law was passed by this legislature. And so it's a baby of the legislature. If there are issues with the law, all we can do is Honorable Saba can write this plenary and we look at the proposed component of this line and see how we can do it. Until then, it relieves the law and the minister and the executive will live in the confines of that law. With that said, Presiding, I think the issue of the law is closed. Let's go to the meat of the issue and discuss why we are here. The Liberian people are interested in listening out there as to how they will get their ballot money. These are issues we should be discussing instead of the technicality and filibustery and the politics on the floor. This issue is not politics, it's about people's lives, and we should be serious about it and take the politics out of it and discuss about the benefit of the people. Thank you, President.
So he has given up, so I don't have the information. So the honorable information.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think Honorable Minister, thank you very much. This has been our worry. We cannot sit here and see our people being so stranded. And so you are speaking well. I think it's understood. The only point I have to ask as an inquiry is that why our pay cannot come on time. Why the first branch of the government, legislature, together with the civil service as a whole, why our pay can't come on time? That's my inquiry. Thank you very much.
Distinguished representatives of the 54th, it's a good question I want to ask about recent delays. Let's set the record straight, because sometimes, you know, because of politics, we just quote the facts and we discuss the history. This government have been paying people current until the last, I believe, 4 months. Since January 2018, you've never heard salary issues. Let's go back. Because when there is 1 month salary delay or 2 month salary delay, there's a tendency to say they have been delayed for 36 months. Sometimes that's how, but that's not true. You are aware that salary was being paid on time. What is happening here is that we pass a budget of 570 million. When you pass a budget of 570 million, it means you gave indications that you're going to have 570 million. When you don't get 570 million but end up at 460,
upon your approval, so we reject. There was nothing there. So I reject. We're going to say tomorrow. There are no problems.
We've got the votes. Honorable Albert Jones. Let me recognize the Bagini people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Fellow colleagues, to the movement. I will be ready to vote for the record because I sat keenly and listening to the minister. The minister said of the 55.
You're on readiness.
I got to name my previous.
No, go to your readiness.
I will be ready to vote. Thank you, sir. If the record can state, as been said by the minister, that 9,000 of the total number of civil servants or government employees that are paid as per the new budget or proposed budget, salary will be affected. If the record can carry that, I'll be ready to vote.
The record is clear that the minister said 9,000 of our civil servants or whoever are being paid by government were affected, meaning they were way up or they brought down in line with the program. And that discussion will be fully understood tomorrow. So the record is there. So, yeah, I said that because he said that. And that's the discussion we are going on, which is contingent upon our approval or dismissal or rejection. So I said that. I accept that.
But then what are they for the best time? That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
There's not a Roman Colosseum.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. You know this matter is a very serious matter. Honorable Speaker, I will be ready to vote if we as lawmakers will get a clear understanding that we will take back to our people in our various constituents based on what Honorable my colleague from Magiri just stated, that it should be made clear in the motion.
But Honorable, don't state what am I giving lawmakers say.
It should be made clear in the motion whether our people
Honorable,
pay.
Honorable, just hold up, please. Is it a new alreadiness? If that is old alreadiness, then you can't really say that.
It's a new alreadiness.
Okay, very well.
Honorable Speaker, I will be ready to vote if it will be made clear to us whether our people pay at court or not. Based on that, I will be willing to vote that I will be able to take that message to my people in my district. Thank you very much.
Mr. Movement.
Mr. Movement.
Presiding, distinguished colleagues, I think we understood that the alarming situation of teachers, health workers, and other people that they receive, maybe some of them 5,000, like our colleague said, was not really a court, but they gave them 35% of their salary, and this balance 65 is being processed. So that is not a court. And if that is the view you want to take, then we should say that there's not a court.
Abstain. Results.
Our Speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there are 12 for, 1 against, no abstention. Thank you very much.
Who again? Distinguished colleagues. With 12 for, 1 against, no abstention, the motion carried. Mr. Deputy Chief Clerk. Yes, sir. Please act accordingly. Thank you. Granted.
So discharge our guests.
Most of the week also is far on our roof. Stay on it.
You are recognized and you are granted that privilege. Basically, it's not a matter of appealing, because from the flow here is clear that there is 1 against. So he voted for, and then he joined, then you joined the honorable member of the you voted for. On that note,
but Speaker, if you didn't vote, that means a motion for reconsideration should not be accepted because the law says you must vote. So if he says you didn't vote, then the motion will be too far.
So what I'm saying, it's not bad to have a speaker. Okay, please.
And I got indications that indeed this issue is in the committee room.
Yes.
Therefore, the motion of reconsideration.
The law is, he voted, so, I mean, if he didn't vote, I mean, it would be true.
Thank you very much for your presence.